Hi everybody, Nick here. Just a couple things before we get into the video. First off, want to give a huge shout out to the guys in the Discord. Names should be on the screen here. Really thank you so much, guys. You guys are a huge help for every build that I do, and especially with this build in particular that's a little bit more difficult for me to understand how to make it work. You guys were a huge help. Can't thank you guys enough. And if you haven't joined the Discord already and you're interested in joining the Discord where we talk about Payday 2 and everything in between, click the link down below. It's in the description. We'd love to have you. We have a ton of fun in there. So besides that, I also just want to mention again, if I can hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, it doesn't look like we're going to make it, at least right now, but I believe. And if we make it to 1,000 subscribers, I will be getting a Payday 2 tattoo that will be chosen by you guys. You guys will vote on it. I'll give you options, and then I will have it recorded and post it to my YouTube channel. Besides that, guys, that's all I have. I really appreciate everybody's support, and I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving if you celebrate it. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. How's it going, everybody? My name's Nick. Welcome back to another Payday 2 build video, and today is episode 7 of our Perk Deck Build Series, and today we're going to be going over the Burglar Perk Deck. To me, it's probably one of the hardest perk decks that I've actually had to try and use to make a good build, so I got a lot of help, so I want to shout out the guys in the Discord. If I haven't already in this video, thank you guys so much for helping me actually come up with a good, coherent build that can maybe kind of sort of be used. They know and do a lot better things than me when it comes to Payday, so they're a big help on this. So let's go ahead and take a look at this build. We'll take a look at the overview, then we'll look at the weapons, skills, perk deck, and everything else in between, and then we'll take a look at some gameplay to see how it goes. Let's go ahead and take a look at the overview of the Burglar build, and keep in mind that some things might change during the gameplay. This is still kind of a work in progress, but what you see here should be what I'm using when it comes to the gameplay. So for our armor, we're going to be using the two-piece suit, and I decided after talking to some guys in the Discord, some suggested the light ballistic vest, and some suggested the two-piece suit. I decided to go the dodge route because I feel like I never put my full faith in dodge, as one shouldn't when it comes to dodge and Payday, but I decided, you know what, let's just run some dodge, see what happens. So I'm running the two-piece suit, and when it comes to our skills, I'll talk about that here in a little bit, but I left it open because we're using inner pockets aced, and I'll talk about my reasoning for that here in just a second. Is you can, if you actually don't care about your dodge as much, you can run your lightweight ballistic vest. So that allows you to keep your detection down at 5 or below, because we're only using SB and low blow basic. So that means that our crit and dodge is going to be the max that it can be when you're at 5 or below. So with lightweight ballistic vest, you obviously are going to go down in dodge by 10, but since I'm trying to do dodge as much as possible when it comes to this build, I'm running the two-piece suit. For our equipment, we're going to be running the doctor bag. Our primary is the M1014 shotgun. Our secondary is the Judge shotgun. Throwable, I have a couple different ideas for this. I'm still opting for the Molotov. I have had some people comment in the past saying, why don't you use concussion grenades? Concussion grenades are great, and I have actually used concussion grenades with this build, and it works fine. I just personally prefer having a crowd control type throwable, because I don't ever use my throwable. I kind of forget they exist. And personally, I guess just a controversial statement, I don't really like throwables that much. I don't enjoy using them. They feel weird to me. I don't like them as much unless they have a specific purpose, like with Berserk. You can put down a Molotov cocktail in order to do damage to you to get that damage increase. So if I ever throw a throwable, then I want it to be purposeful. And concussion grenades, because you have 6 of them, so many, or shurikens or throwing knives, because there's so many of them, you kind of spam them, or I guess maybe not with concussion grenades, but anyways, my whole point is I don't like them as much, so I prefer Molotov cocktails. So if there's a big group of enemies, I'm like, I'm just going to throw a Molotov and try and take out or do what I can to them. For my melee, I'm using the buzzer because of its lower concealment and because I like the electricity effect. Skills, as you can see, we mostly are Mastermind and Enforcer. And of course, because of the nature of Burglar, we also have some ghost skills, and Burglar is our perk deck. So hopefully that wasn't too long of an overview. Let's go and take a look at some skills. For our skills, for Mastermind, I'm going to be running Combat Medic Basic, Painkillers Ace, Combat Doctor Ace, and Inspire Ace. If you're running Inspire Ace, as I have painfully learned through the course of me making build videos, Painkillers is very important. It helps you have that damage reduction for your teammates when you revive them, so if you revive them in a sticky situation, if you don't have Painkillers Ace, they're probably going to go back down. And if you're running things on 1 down, then you especially were going to want to have Painkillers, so they aren't going to go right back down if you revive them. We'll be using Force Friendship Basic, Joker Basic, Confident Ace, Partners in Crime Ace, and Hostage Taker Aced. Now, the thing with Burglar is, since we're running the suit, our health isn't going to be as much. So this is where Partners in Crime comes in. It helps us have more health, increase our health by 30% just for having a converted enemy, and it's always nice to be able to have 2 converted enemies because that helps take some of the fire off of you. They target them instead of you, not all the time, 100% of the time, but it makes some enemies target them instead of you. Makes your life a little bit easier. Hostage Taker, I ended up having points, and the way that I allocated them allowed me to have Hostage Taker. It was my last choice of something to ace, especially something like this, but it allowed me to have that, which was really exciting for me. So I slapped on Hostage Taker, and I actually really like it. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that as well. I would say this is probably not a necessity for this build. If you're getting hit, you're probably going to go down with this build. You only can take a couple shots after your armor breaks. So since this relies so heavily on dodge, you really have to worry about your health. But if you get hit and you're able to get behind cover, Hostage Taker gets you back up to full health eventually, as long as you can retain from getting hit any further. So we have Stable Shot Basic as a pickup, just for a little bit of weapon stability with our shotguns. Enforcer, we're going to be running Underdog Basic, Shotgun CQB for faster reload, Shotgun Impact for more damage, Close By Basic, 1 to get us up to Overkill, and so we can have hip fire with our shotguns while we're sprinting, and Overkill to receive a 75% damage increase for 20 seconds whenever we kill an enemy with our shotguns. In the tank side, we're running Resilience Basic for increased armor recovery and to get us up to Die Hard Basic, so we get 50% less damage while interacting with objects, which is nice because you can never do any objectives with this build, or any really dodge build besides maybe Sicario if you throw down a smoke grenade, so you kind of need that. Bullseye Basic to help with armor gating, Scavenger Basic to help with ammo pickup, which we especially need for our secondary. Absolutely nothing in Technician, which is surprising. Ghost, we have Duck and Cover Ace, Parkour Aced, and Inner Pockets Aced. Now the reason I did this, there's a couple different ways you could go about it to get up to SB, but I opted for Inner Pockets Aced, one, so that you guys that are watching have the creativity to decide, do I really want to focus on dodge or not? And if you're not going to, then you could still retain a little bit of dodge from the Burglar side and from Sneaky Basic. This allows you to be able to have that option while also equipping that Light Ballistic Vest, like I said before. So I guess I kind of did that for the video, but in another way, these aren't very great builds. They have their uses. I don't want to say they're worthless. They have their uses, but if you end up, in order to get up to SB, you have to ace maybe one of these, or you have to at least spend more points than needed that I would want to on these particular skills to get up there. So I just decided to get these 3 ace just so I can get up there and not have to worry about these 2 at all, or spend extra points or allocate extra points that I don't really want them there. So that's why I did that. Second Wind Basic, Optical Illusions Ace, mainly so we can, 1, to help with targeting, which is really nice with this build, and then also this allows us to have our concealment down lower because we have silenced weapons equipped on our shotguns, and then Low Blow Basic in order to have that maximum crit chance. And I have 9 lives ace. For the purpose of this video, I would say you don't necessarily need this. I believe the gameplay is actually going to be on Death Wish to better showcase the build. So 9 lives aced may not necessarily be a really important skill for you to have if you're not playing Death Sentence 1 down, but I put it on there anyways because I try to make these builds the best I can for every situation. So if you're playing Death Sentence 1 down, then you have another down to be able to help you out. Now that we've looked at some skills, let's go ahead and check out Burglar. So Burglar's kind of a weird perk deck, except not really. So the fact of the matter is, I try and make all of my builds specifically for loud. 1, because I prefer to play loud, and 2, so it's more entertaining for you guys to say, oh, I guess I can kind of use Burglar and Loud. So the thing with Burglar is it focuses a lot on stealth and dodge, which are both great things, and if you were a stealth player, then I'd really suggest trying out Burglar. I think you'd have a blast with it, and it would help you out a ton. But there's a couple of perks in here that make it, if you're playing Loud, kind of doesn't help you at all, such as a Bag of Tricks, which is you bag corpses 20% faster. You also have Dutch Courage, which makes it where you answer pagers 10% faster. That's not going to help you much, so those specific skills may not mean much to you, but let's go over kind of the main points of Burglar. So we're going to have Sneaky, which increases our dodge by 20%. We'll have Bag of Tricks, which you bag corpses 20% faster if you're in stealth, and Standing Still and Crouching decreases your chance to be targeted by 10%. Blending in is something that everybody has. Luck of the Irish, your chance to dodge is increased by an additional 5%. Your chance to be targeted while standing still and crouching is decreased by an additional 5%. And you pick locks 20% faster. The way that I see Burglar really being useful is if you were doing things like lock picking. Obviously you pick locks 20% faster. That's really helpful. But so like lock picking, or doing something like working on a drill, repairing a drill during a heist, something like that. Standing still, working on objectives, I think works really well with Die Hard Basic. It allows you to be less targeted, and if you are hit, then at least you'll tank a little bit of it with Die Hard Basic. Dutch Courage, your chance to dodge is increased by an additional 5%. Your chance to be targeted while standing still and crouching is decreased by an additional 5%. And you answer pagers 10% faster. And last but not least, Breath of Fresh Air. Standing still and crouching increases your armor recovery rate by 20%. And you gain 10% crouching movement speed. So that's kind of all Burglar is. It's actually not that complex or anything like that. And again, I've said this before, but it's kind of nice when you have a perk deck like this that isn't very complex, because you have so many perk decks that are kind of more complex, or that you have to think about a little bit more, such as Stoic, on when to correctly use the button, not my buttons 3, but when you're going to use your button in order to heal yourself. Although some people, I guess, would say with Stoic you could just spam it as much as you can, but you also have to be strategic, especially if you're playing in something like Descent. So with Burglar, it's kind of like, you know what you get, and this is how you should use it. Maybe not specifically my way, but you have kind of an idea of how you're going to use Burglar. So I hope that gives you a good idea of what Burglar is, how I've incorporated with the skills, and now I'm hopefully going to show you how I have incorporated it with the weapons. Alright, so we've taken a look at skills and the perk deck and an overview of the build. Let's go ahead and take a look at weapons. So what I'm going to be using today is the M1014 shotgun. Now, originally I had planned to use the ISMA, but I feel like I've used the ISMA multiple times, even maybe for builds, etc. So I decided to try something different. The M1014 shotgun is an exceptional shotgun, and one that should not be taken lightly. If you haven't tried it yourself, please try it out. You can take a look at the stats that I have for the current M1014 shotgun build that I have. You can pause the video here, or you can look at it as we're going through the modifications. So I have a weapon skin on, that doesn't really matter. I have 000 buckshot just for that extra 15 damage. For the barrel, I have on the short barrel. This allows us to have +6 concealment. We actually get a little bit of extra damage from this, but we're going down in accuracy and stability, and unfortunately magazine. That is the biggest point of short barrel that really makes it tough, but allowing us to, if you don't have short barrel equipped, as well as the collapse stock, if you don't have both of those equipped, you're not going to be able to have SB and low blow basic to allow us to have 5 or below detection risk. Next we have the barrel extension. I'm using the Silent Killer Suppressor. This is -4 in damage, but +4 in stability and -2 in concealment, but because we have Optical Illusions aced, it actually helps us out. If you remove the modification, you can see that we'll actually go up in our concealment once we craft the Silent Killer. For our boost, we have concealment as +1, no charm. Our gadget is compact laser module, because I love having lasers on virtually every single gun, and the collapse stock. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, I did not have the collapse stock unlocked before I did this build, and I realized I had to have it unlocked if I wanted to do what I was planning to do with the build. So I ended up unlocking the collapsed stock, and just like the barrel, I believe the short barrel has to be equipped. And I'm also going to be honest, I have no idea what that is or how to unlock it. I don't remember, but I do remember how to unlock the collapsed stock. So if you don't have it unlocked, the way you unlock it is by killing 40 enemies, or specifically 40 shields, with AP slugs using a shotgun. I actually ran around with the M1014 and the Judge, both with AP rounds, in like a mayhem first world bank, and just sat there killing shields until I got it. You'll get an achievement for it, and then I quit and put it on. So that's how to get that. For the Judge, you can again pause here if you want to take a look at the stats in their entirety, but we'll be looking at them as we go through. I have on AP slug rounds to help with shields. That is very nice, but I will let you know it's very difficult to find ammo. I don't know specifically, it doesn't list it how it does with, I think it's flechette maybe? Yeah, with HE rounds, it shows this ammo type is harder to find. It doesn't show it for AP slugs, but I do feel like it's harder to find. It's a little bit more difficult, maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just the Judge itself. So just keep that in mind if you're using the Judge and if you're using AP slugs. You want to use the Judge sparingly and mainly focus on using the M1014. Trust me, it's pretty hard to run out of ammo with how quickly we're killing enemies and how much ammo we're picking up with Scavenger Basic. With our barrel extension, we're going to be using the Silent Killer Suppressor, using concealment for our boost. For our gadget, we'll have compact laser module, lower receiver, none, and no sight. So, now that I've shown you our weapons, the overview, the skills, and the perk deck Burglar, let's go ahead and see how things work with the gameplay. Just being honest, man, I feel like, in case I hadn't said before, this is take 2 for this heist here. This heist is hard even on Death Wish, but I like your party hat, Armstrong. Okay. We're not worried about it. We're not worried about it. So shout out to the boys in the Discord. If I haven't said that already, I can't remember. Helping me out with this build, giving me ideas. I didn't end up getting to play with them on this particular recording, but I think I just ended up having people. I think I had my party set to public and just having people join. So, but really appreciate you guys, man. So while we have a chance, and I'm not focusing too hard, of course, unless I'm absolutely getting mauled.
Bye-bye, kitty shield. That shield didn't do much for you, did it?
I think it's important to talk about the pros and cons of this build. No! Dang it. First con that may not, I mean, that I'm sure is already apparent, is that it's a reload simulator, right? So you have to be very careful with how you spend your Judge rounds, because they seem to be increasingly hard to find. I have no idea if it's true that it's harder to find slug rounds or not, but it feels that way for some reason, and it could just be the Judge itself is that way. So I can't see. I'm being stunned. This is starting out worse than the last one. Okay. You also have to make sure you hit your shots. You know what I said earlier about not wasting your Judge rounds? Well, I guess just don't do what I do and you'll be fine. I also think it's important to be able to get as many jokers as you can get. Specifically so you can help take some heat off of you, as well as get that extra health buff from having a converted enemy. Whoever's using hacker, I appreciate you. Just remember that. Ah! Eh. I gotta reload before I do this. Alright, let's go. Woo!
There's more of them, if you don't mind. Some help, please.
I think there's some outside too. I'll help you, Sharon. I promise. There we go. I'm assuming I can't save him.
Oh, I think this drill is stuck. We have to fix it.
Yeah, no way. Sorry, buddy. We're already over here. Ah! What are you doing? What's happening there? Ammo? Are they both running Swan Song? I respect it. It's probably going to be a hostage over there that we can't even get to. He got down as soon as he spawned in, poor guy.
The elevator is broken. How inconvenient. Listen, since I can't get out, I need you to search for something important that they took from me. It's a metal briefcase. I must have it back.
We've got a little bit of a glitch there on our screen, but that's fine. You have to play kind of like a madman with this build. Sorry I don't talk as much. One, I just naturally don't talk very much. You guys in the Discord probably know. I'm in a VC with you guys, and I just like am muted. But I think I did that tonight. I'm not even kidding. But besides not talking much, I also just focus when I'm playing this game. So I'm like, talking causes me to not be focused as much. I'm sure somebody out there in the void understands. I like just seeing all the little thingies pop up. I like wasting ammo in order to see the shiny yellow and red. Oh. What? What was that? Okay. I believe in you, Armstrong. In your party hat. Ow. Stop it.
Get off the ground. Shield is dead.
Back up we go. I'm pretty sure we have another glitch. I love Wolf HUD. Ugh.
You don't know who you're dealing with. We can't get out that thing.
Motherfucker, gun.
I'm gonna go ahead and just get me another Joker here. Now there should be a turret outside? Question mark? Yep.
Come on, brother. You got this.
I don't know if there's really any point of us taking the assault rifles. I can't remember. Sometimes these heists, I feel like I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna go ahead and pick this lock. Since I'm running handy dandy burglar, I can pick locks 20% faster. It takes me 15 seconds instead of 20. Wow. Maybe we should keep this as a safe spot? I don't know.
Goddamn champion.
That'll work.
Put your motherfucking hands up.
Yo, that guy's not going down. He said, no, sir. Uh-oh. Okay.
Watch the medic.
Suck it, sniper.
Thank you.
Goddamn shield.
Can I get them from here? Yep.
Shield kill. Shield
Yep.
down.
Wow, Judge is virtually a sniper. Oh, we have an infinite wave. Nice, sweet cloaker.
Digits in the air. How about that escape? Your driver coming.
Ow. No. Eh. I like this suppressor, but at the same time, it really gets in the way. How?
Kill the shield.
Thank you. There we go. Is that one already dead? I think it is. Yeah, I think it's already dead. Where do we move the police cars?
Whoa, sniper.
What's that voice line, dude? Whoa, sniper.
Onward.
Whoop.
Sleep when you're dead.
Move.
Morning! Come with me! Fucking move it!
All right, so that was that. Oh, have I not done this on Death Wish? I thought I had, but I mean that's fine with me.